Hello all, welcome to Billionaire. This is RP here, recording video on 26th of June 2022. We will try to analyze the Nifty for next whole week. We'll try to see what are the possible cases for the Nifty based on indicators first, then Elliott Wave, and then after that we'll check the option chain. So we do this analysis every weekend. In last week also we did the analysis. So let's check the progress report of our last week's analysis. So in previous weeks we discussed. So on March 17 we discussed that Nifty would go like this and then drop. So this X wave we had expected to make a top and then another drop was expected. So this was on May 18th. We discussed that Nifty would drop more on the downside after a consolidation. And here on 29th of May, we discussed that Nifty would bounce back towards 16,800 and then would drop on the downside. So similar things have been happening. So our analysis is pretty much in line with how the markets are moving. And this is Elliott Wave, by the way, which is giving us proper guideline. Even the indicators are pointing in the same direction. It's a good opportunity. So another day, June 5, where we mentioned that Nifty had started the drop after looking at this particular candle, and the wait for that fall was break of 16,438. Okay, this level we were waiting because this was a wedge pattern. So yeah, this particular move is a wedge pattern that you see here. We plotted Elliott Wave, and after wedge break there was a fall expected. We even draw the targets on the downside. So the downside targets were beyond 15,600 and it made a low of 15,183, right? So from 16,438 we expected a drop towards 15,600 and beyond. So that was almost 800 points of fall you can capture. So yeah, in a last week's analysis as well, we mentioned that Nifty would be in a consolidation B wave and then the C wave would start on the downside. So it would go towards this lower end of the channel. So this was our view, and even based on indicators, we mentioned that Nifty would drop on the downside. So this was the last week's analysis, which we did on 19th June. And there also we mentioned here that it will be a consolidation week. So the last week was a consolidation week and the next week is going to be a fall. So our analysis was very much in line. We also mentioned based on indicators that Nifty would trade towards this 13 EMA and it will face the resistance somewhere near 15,800 and then we should start the drop. So even option chain we mentioned that 15,300 to 700 is the range for the expiry, and same thing had been repeated. So our analysis was pretty in line with what market did. So let me know in the comments how you use this analysis in your trading or investing. So do let me know in the comments. So before we go for the analysis, let's discuss one of the quotes that I have with me from Jesse Livermore. So his quote is on trend. Okay, so what he says is successful traders always follow the line of least resistance. He means that they do the simple things, they don't do the difficult things, and they follow the trend because the trend is your friend. That's what the Jesse Livermore's quote is. He's one of the best trader in the world. So what he means is you should follow the trend and you should go with the flow. So you can give if you are still reading and you are still on our video, if you are still watching, you can search on Google the line of least resistance and let me know in the comments what do you think, what does it mean. Okay, so if you are curious and if you want to learn some English as well, such quotes and reading English will help you. So you can let me know in the comments what is the line of least resistance means, and probably you can give some examples as well. Okay, so next point is on the indicators. So let's talk about the indicators now. So based on indicators, what we can see here is Nifty has pulled back to a short-term moving average. So this blue line is a short-term moving average called as 13 EMA. So we have a 13 EMA, then this is 48 EMA, pink line is 200 EMA, and red line is 100 EMA. So here we can see that Nifty has pulled back to short-term moving average 13 EMA as per our last week's analysis. And here we can see that Around indicator is trading parallel, but it's still not below 50, meaning to say it's not a consolidation anymore as of now. It can become a consolidation case where Nifty will fall slowly on the downside and then give a bounce. That is very much likely to happen. In that case, Around will go more parallel, it will go below 50. That will be a signal for us that the downside trend is weakening. Okay, so if it goes below 50, then that will be a weakening signal. If this goes beyond, if this stays red line line stays beyond 70, then and this green line goes below 40, then that is the signal of extreme bearish market, which happened here. Okay, so similar thing can happen here as well. So yeah, but I'm of a view of a bounce back after this, because there is already a divergence on RSI. So RSI, you can see here, RSI is not making a fresh low, whereas the price had made a fresh low. So this is the signal for me that downside could be coming to end after one more fall on the downside. So this is how the indicators are telling us. So the range based on indicators that I'm thinking of is here. Okay, so this is the point of resistance. Here also there was a resistance. Here again there is a small resistance. This is not considered as exact resistance, but yeah, there was a consolidation in this area as well. So let's go back here. You can see again a lot of consolidation area. So this will act as a resistance for us, because we dropped after 3 months on the downside. So this low was made somewhere around March, somewhere around 8th March. After that, we took 3 months to break that resistance. Break that support. So now it will act as a resistance. So you know the change of roles, right? So first, if the resistance is broken, and then next time it will act as a support, and if support is broken, then next time when the price comes to it will act as a resistance. So this will be a resistance area for us. So somewhere between 15,800 to 870 levels is the resistance for us, and we should expect a drop on the downside. So that's what we can think of in the next couple of sessions. So moving to the next part, which is Elliott Wave analysis. Let's check the Elliott Wave based analysis. So this is the chart that I have with me. So this is the 26th July chart that we June chart that we plotted today, and here we are saying that Nifty has 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 waves completed, and this correction is called as wave A. So this is wave A. Okay, and currently we did a pullback in the form of WXY. Okay, so Y wave is going towards 0.32 Fibonacci. So how can you get a 0.32 Fibonacci? You plot a Fibonacci on this and this point, then you get 0.32 Fibonacci as 15,800. So here we see a pullback towards 15,800. Okay, and after that, and even you can see here 860 is the level, which is a resistance point near these three resistances. So it will be tough for Nifty to break this. So another 100 to 150 points left. After that, we should start the drop. So whenever Nifty whatever level Nifty goes on the upside, so whatever swing it makes here, if this swing is broken, we can initiate a short opportunity, a short trade going for the downside. At least this lower end of the channel we should expect, and then we can ride for the downside. If it creates bigger gaps, then assume that the lower end of the channel will also be broken, and there is also possibility of another round of pullback if it gives bounce from this particular lower end of the channel. So let's assume, so Nifty goes like this, okay, and then drops on the downside like this. It will be a slow drop. This will be a Y wave completed here, right? And this will be again X wave, and another round of consolidation can come as Z wave. Maybe it will go towards 16,180, right? So if Nifty breaks 15,900 or 15,860, right? If it, let's say, keep a 40 points buffer, if Nifty breaks 15,900, then you can wait for move towards this with another round of consolidation in a same wave maybe, or even after a pullback. So both cases are possible. It can even go in a Y wave also upside, but that looks little bit difficult. So the possibility is open to go here after a drop, taking a support here, or directly going there. But yeah, it's a game of possibility. And what I'm assuming is it has already consolidated a long time here in this range, right? So it has already consolidated a lot of time spent here. So I'm not expecting it to give another round of correction like this, and then it will drop on the downside. So I'm not expecting a larger correction, more time spending correction here. So next week we should see the start of the correction, at least the second half of Monday or the morning of Tuesday. So gap fill will be another signal for you. So if it creates a gap on Monday and then it quickly fills that gap on Monday itself, then that is the signal for us that the trend has weakened and it is going on the downside. So you can see here there is MACD divergence on 15-minute chart. So this is the 15-minute chart of Nifty, and here we clearly see a divergence. So divergence, this has made a new high already, but another high is possible here, right? But what we are expecting is Nifty to, even if it crosses and makes a divergence like this, so that is another third signal. So gap fill, MACD crossover are the couple of signals, or this swing break are three signals for us to consider the downside opportunity. So minimum downside is the lower end of the channel, and most likely it will break 15,000. That's what we are assuming in this analysis. So just like here it gave a pullback based on positive divergence, here we have a negative divergence between these 2 points, right? So this is a smaller high, by the way, but anyway it's a high, and here we see a divergence. So anyway, the divergence indicates loss of momentum for going further upside. So that's how we are saying that Nifty would break 15,000 based on the price and the Elliott wave. So B wave should complete in the next 1 or 2 sessions. So let's take a closer look on this area and see what is happening. So let's try to understand ABC waves. So here, as we see here, that this wave was a flat correction, W to X was a flat correction, and then what we have here is A move. Okay, let me get the pencil. A, B, and then currently the C wave is in progress, which could go between 15,840 to 790 levels. So this is the zone, by the way. This impulse wave looks a bit odd. Okay, so with wave A and B like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, and fifth wave could be in progress. This looks a little bit odd structure for the impulse wave, but it's still valid. It has still some area left to go towards the upper end of the channel, so it can go there. What we said is 15,800 to 860 levels is the area where we should expect Nifty to make a top and then drop on the downside. And yeah, we also see here impulse structure on the downside. So in case Nifty opens gap down and breaks 15,600, you can expect it to go towards downside, minimum towards 15,500 to 450 levels. Okay, so if it opens gap down, that is the case. Most likely it won't, because the global is very bullish at the moment, and it is expected to gap up, and it might go towards 15,800 to 860 levels. So that's all on the Elliott wave front. So this is how we look to the markets based on Elliott wave. So next week, no consolidation, no bigger pullbacks. It's just the bearish view that I have. And do make sure that you follow the levels exactly. If Nifty starts trading above 15,900, then it is going towards 16,180. That you need to remember. Then we will have to wait to see if it is weakening more, and then from 0.6 Fibonacci of 16,180, it can start the drop. So yeah, this was the level 16,180. If it goes there, then like if it starts trading above 15,900, then definitely this level should come with more consolidation. So yeah, hope you understand what we all said in Elliott wave. You can rewind and go back and watch again this analysis anyway, because because this will give you more clear picture. Okay, so let me know in the comments if you think that 15,000 will be broken or not. Next part is option chain. So let's check the option chain. So here we have opened on Sensible. This is the option chain. Here we are doing the open interest analysis. And last time we said that 15,700 would be the major resistance. And on call side, you see that highest number here on 15,700. Obviously, 16,000 will be the major resistance with 73 lakh call writers. But the second major resistance is 15,700. Even 15,800 has good number. But yeah, the second biggest number is this 15,700. So this will be a second biggest resistance. On the flip side, on the call, on the put side, what we have here, let's see, obviously 15,000 would be the major resistance, but somehow it is showing 15,500 as major support. Sorry. So this is the support 15,500, which is having highest put open interest of 65 lakh. And then we have 15,000 as a second major support. But this is a little bit odd. After Monday's session or 1 or 2 sessions drop, these put writers will shift on the downsides, making this as a bigger number, and eventually it will break and go more dip on the downside. So downside targets we already discussed in a couple of videos. You can visit our playlist and Nifty playlist. So this is the playlist that we have, Nifty weekly analysis. You can visit this playlist. We discussed the downside targets many times, target based on price action as well. So yeah, so let's discuss further. Here we see the range as 15,700 to 800, because 700 800 usually acts as a resistance. You can means between these two, any of them can act as a resistance. Usually the resistances and supports better act on a multiple of 500. So 500 or 15,500, 16,000, or even 14,500, 15,000. These are the main levels. Apart from that, this is also a good area of resistance. So this is the band on the upper side. That's what I think. And on the lower side, 15,000 would be the second band. It will spend a little bit of time near 15,500 since it has a major support. Okay, it will spend a little bit of time there. Eventually it should break this, as we have a bearish view. So we are expecting a drop below 15,000. So what I'm expecting is these put writers would shift downside towards 15,000 if the market starts cracking. So yeah, that's pretty much all on the Nifty analysis. Hope you enjoyed the analysis. Do let me know in the comments if you have any doubts. Thank you. Bye bye.